This conference will now be recorded.
So today we will be talking about the events. I think we are done with the controller and the scope, right? So we have now the idea on the controller and the scope. So whenever I was talking about the controller scope, what I was talking about? I was talking about the the JavaScript objects controlling our flow of execution, and it was also taking the help of what? It was also taking the help of the scope. It was also taking the help of the scope. Okay, so if you remember, the last program, what we were doing, so we were writing this control. So what was this all about? Can anyone tell me? We created an app, and in that app we included a controller. Okay, so where I will write the controller's code, I will write the controller's code in the script. In the script. So how did I do that? I just said Angular's module. Module is nothing but functionality, or you can say a program on the controller. A program on the controller. So Angular's module, my app. What is this my app? My app is the Angular app name. Angular app name. So that should match compulsory. Okay, right. So leave it. Don't worry. Just leave it as a list. And then app controller. And here what I'm saying, my ctrl, what is that? What should that match? That should match with the ng controller. That should match with what? The ng controller. So now my ctrl connecting with what? Connecting with my ctrl, which is nothing but our controller, Okay, fine. Next, and I'm creating a function with the scope. With what? Scope. So that scope is the responsible one for giving the data. So in the page, whatever data you are using, that is called as the data scope. That is called as the data scope. So what we are saying? Scope. What is the data here? Car name. So that car name value, who is giving? Who is giving? The scope. So we are enabling a scope. So that scope will give that value for the car. Okay, car name rather. Yes. So this is how the scope and the controller will work together. Okay, so controller is responsible for controlling the flow of the code with the help of the scope is like data being alive. The data being alive. In simple words, if I say, scope means the data being alive in the program. The data being alive in the program. Am I clear? Am I clear with this logic? What you have to create? Simple. App is equal to angular.module. Okay, then what is this app? The name of this, the name of the Angular app. The name of the Angular app. And what you are doing? MyCTRL. What is MyCTRL here? MyCTRL is the control. Okay. So function scope. So the scope which is making the data alive. Which is making the data alive, and that data will be used throughout the HTML page. Throughout the HTML page. Within what? Within the double flower braces. Within the double flower braces. Yes or no? So today we are going to talk about the events. There also we will try to use this controller and scope. So that is why it is important for us to understand about the controller and the scope. And one more thing very important when you talk about Angular is it's a MVC architecture. Which architecture? MVC architecture. MVC stands for Model View Controller. So now model we already know. Model is nothing but the data. View we already know. View is nothing but the viewing part. So the HTML elements and all this. Now controller came into the picture. Who is that controller? Who is the one which is going to make your view attached with the data, right? So it is like a medium between the view and the model. Okay, that you can say in simple words. Yes, is this clear? Now people, you are learning Java, you are learning Python. So what is that Java Python will do? It will control the program. Same thing here also. concept is same, right? The application may be different, the concept is same. Java, Python are what? Controlling languages, or controlling the inputs, giving the outputs. That is what Java and Python are doing now. So here also that only. So it is establishing the data inside some scope, yes or no? And that data is being displayed, the data is being put into the HTML code. Okay, these things are very very important to remember. Yes. Okay, now we'll talk about the event. So what is an event? First of all, so you can open the page. What is an event? If you remember, in JavaScript also we learned events. When you click something, you will get something. When you move the mouse, you get something. Yes or no? So all those are nothing but events only. Every event will have a event listener. So that event listener will do the activity of binding that event to a particular HTML element. So concept is the same. Concept is the same, but we use different directives. We use different directives. So for blur, we use their on blur, on click, but we use ng blur, ng click, ng mouse over. Ng means angular. Ng means angular. So same things, but what will change? Same things, but what will change? The angular perspective will change. What will change? The angular perspective will change. So we will look at the events from the angular point of view. From which point of view? From the angular point of view. Is that clear? Yes or no? Okay. Now we will try to talk about the mouse events first. Okay. So what are the mouse events? Mouse over, mouse enter, mouse move, and mouse leave. So what do I mean by this? Mouse over means over an element. Mouse entered into that particular element when the mouse is moving left or right. So when the mouse is out of that element. So these are the four mouse events that we look at. And we also have something like mouse down and mouse up events also. Okay, right, of course ng click and all. So now tell me, what are you understanding from this? Everything almost same data as always. Tell me what you are understanding. Hmm? Count of what? Count when mouse is moving. How can you say that? Because we used mouse move event. What we used? Mouse move event. So if you are moving the mouse, the count automatically comes up. Okay? Yes or no? Okay. So go create the code. Write the code. I have the file. I have the file with you, or you have the file with you. I've sent it already. You can just check it out. Try to do it without uh, copying. If you are getting any doubt, you can take the help of this screen, projector screen. You can take the help of. Yeah, I'll be back in a moment. See, when you look at the code, you should understand the flow. That is important. UI programming is like you never do the things from the scratch. What you have to know is, so you have to know how we can understand, how we can get the flow. Okay. So what I'm asking you to do is, now ng app is there, my control. I don't have to change this. But now what I want to, what is my idea here? What is my idea? So my idea here is to print some, increase some count value upon mouse move. So what I'm saying, on mouse move event, you increase the count value by 1. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here, upon mouse move, okay, so upon mouse move, in the sense, what I will say, I will say hmm, uh, ng hmm, mouse move hmm, is equal to, okay, is equal to count value. So count is equal to count plus 1. Now where that count value will come from? Where that count value will come from? That is important. So that you have to initialize in the controller part. Initialize where? In the controller part. Okay. Right. So mouse move here. Okay. So mouse move here. Right. Okay. So now that value, whatever the value that you want to use, that will be where? That will be in the scope. That will be in the scope. No need to change everything. That will be in the scope. So what I'll say here, I will say count. Initial value of the count when the page is loaded should be 0. When the page is loaded should be 0. Okay. Now what I want to print? I want to print that, which value? I want to print that count value. So to print that count value, what you can do? To print that count value, what you can do? You can use double flower brackets. And what is the one you have to put here? You have to say count. That's it. Understanding the flow is always important. Where the count is getting initialized. So what is count happening to be in the next position? So all that. So now are we done with the program? Yes or no? Yes? Are we done or not? Okay. So there you use H2, here you use P. That is up to us. Okay. So now I want to use P here. I want to use H2 here. Now it's up to me. Okay. So this one I'll just take off and save this. Okay. I'm moving the mouse. As I'm moving the mouse, not only on that, okay, so I'm moving the mouse, I'm getting not only on that, so down also I'm moving. What I'm getting the count increased. Yes or no? So that is what the question is here. Yes, understanding the flow is important, as I told. Yeah. Today we'll try to finish Angular And as usual, 1 day break, and we will start React on Friday. Okay, 1 day break always is important before anything we start. We'll try to finish. If not, we will continue tomorrow. Today Java 8 also will be finished. Tomorrow break. If this is also finished, tomorrow break, and React will start on Friday. The Angular topic. React will start. No? UI is not UI. After React, UI will be over. చాలా చెప్పొచ్చు చెప్పాలంటుంటే. So if you take UI, I can tell it 1 year. Okay, so if I start saying in depth everything, 1 year I can say. Full stack. For full stack developers, what is required, I took. So for React, we will spend some time because React on only React jobs are there. Okay, so for React, we'll spend some time. Okay, because Angular has an alternative. Angular also is there. AngularJS is also there. But React, there is no alternative. So we will spend more time on React. So you can expect more jobs on React directly, only React. Okay, so on only Angular jobs are not there. On only React jobs are there. So we'll spend some more time on React. Okay, over. You understood the flow, what we are doing, where we are increasing the count. Tell me what we are not using. We are not using n init, ng init, ng init, ng model, ng bind. Are we using those things? No. Who is doing all that stuff for me? My controller is doing that stuff for me. My controller is responsible for binding the data. My controller is responsible for initializing the data. My controller is responsible for handling the data also. So that is what is controller according to the programming. Okay, this is clear. Okay, next thing, click. So mouse, okay, click. Now tell me what will happen. Only small change I did. Try to understand that change. Click, okay, fine. I created a button for a click. Previously it was text. Now it is button. Only that change. So blindly what you do, instead of creating the text, you will put the button. Instead of ng mouse move, you put the ng click. Start. I'm making things easy for you. That's the only goal. Over. So this is click. Okay, what is the change that I have done here? Instead of h1 element, I've given button. Instead of mouse move, I made it click. Okay, so instead of mouse move, I made it click here. Right. So save it. Button close sale. Yeah. So button, save this. Okay. When I'm moving, it is not doing anything. When I click it, then only the change is happening. Yes. Okay. Only the change of event. That's it. Only the change of event. Okay. Right. Then we will go for. Okay. Here, tell me what is happening. Ng click is equal to my function. What is my function? Who is my function? Who is my function? Okay, if you go back to JavaScript classes, I told you one concept there. We can assign functions to a variable. Yes? Okay, if you remember, this is 0 assigned to count. 0 assigned to count. Okay. Then what is happening in the next line? Function assigned to variable. What is count? Count is also a variable only. What is my function? My function is also a variable only. So function is assigned to variable like 0. Like 0, 0 assigned to count. In the same way, you are assigning function to the variable. It can be done. So JavaScript has that power to do. So what JavaScript has done here? JavaScript has done or given a flexibility for us to allocate the function into a variable like a normal value. Like 0 you gave to count. In the same way, like a function you can create and assign to my function. So whenever you want the 0 to be used, what you'll use? You'll use count. Now I want this function to be used. What I can do? I can use my function. It is as simple as that. Yes? Hope you're understanding my point. So what we have done here? We have assigned this function to my function, and that my function is called upon every click. Upon every click. So when you click, who is called? That function is called. When you click, who is called? That function is called. Okay? Okay. Once that function is called, what that function is going to do? That function is going to increase the value of the count. That function is going to increase the value of the count. See, function calling means it has to do something, no? What it is doing? It is increasing the value of the count. It is increasing the value of the count. Am I clear? Am I clear with my points? Yes or no? What I'm doing here? I am going for a function definition, and that function I'm assigning to my function under the controller scope. Under the controller scope means I can use that function anywhere. I can use that function anywhere. Am I clear with my points or not? Yes? Am I clear? Okay. Upon your every click, who should be called? That function should be called. Sir, I don't know what is function. I can't do anything. Okay. So the only confusion you will get when you don't know what is a function. If you don't know what is a function, go back to the JavaScript classes and learn functions once again. Then you will understand this. Because now I cannot explain you what is a function, what does a function do. I cannot explain all that. Okay. So function can be assigned to my function, and upon every click, this my function is called. So my function is holding what? My function is holding this function. What is that function doing? That function is increasing the count value by 1 every time. Every time you click it, it will increase by 1. Every time you click it, it will increase by 1. And what value is updated? The count value is updated. The count value is updated. Yes? Okay, do it. Do it fast, then I'll do it. Okay. Okay. Tell me what I did. Ng click is equal to, instead of doing this here, what I did, tell me. I said my function. No need to use the same names. Okay. Okay. Then count is equal to 0. Then what I did? I used one more scope. This scope is for assigning the function. This scope is for assigning the function. Okay. Scope dot fun is equal to, okay, my fun, sorry. So my fun is equal to, I will create a function. Okay, so inside function, what I should have? I should have, hmm, I should have what? So I should have scope is important or not? Scope. I'm using the same scope as per the as per the as per the controller. So I'm saying plus plus done. That's it. Yes or no? My fun. Who is my fun? My fun is this variable. What is this variable assigned by? Assigned by another function which will give you the count plus plus. Every time you click on that, the count will be increased. Same thing but different manner. That's it. Okay. So let me say F5. Okay. Somewhere we missed. Scope లేదు కదా ఆగాయి. Because already scope is given, no? So no need of scope. నేను పెట్టలేదు, మీరే పెట్టండి అని చెప్పారు. Okay. Okay. Right? Done? So this is how we can deal with what? The function assignment into the scope. The function assignment into the scope. Okay. Right. Next, toggle. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me what is happening here? This line? In this line. My func. Okay. So with this, what you are expecting to have? You are expecting to have a function. Okay. Go down. So you are expecting to have a function. Fine. So what this function is doing? Show me is equal to not of show me. Not of show me means opposite result. Opposite result. So first show me is what? False. So when you click on something, when you do some action, what should happen? If it is true, it should become false. If it is false, it should become true. That is what it is saying. Not of true only, no? Or not of false. Not of false is what? True. Right? When you click, actually it will be false. It will become true. Then it will be true. It will become false. Opposite results. Is that clear? Okay. What exactly you are doing, sir, here? You are having a menu, pizza, pasta, and something else. Okay. So what you are doing? You are having a show me here. Okay. So where that show me is reflected? That show me is reflected in the ng show. In the ng show. What is show? Remember yesterday we have seen ng show. What was ng show doing? ng show was displaying the result. Displaying the result. When you click on something checkbox, it was displaying the result. So if it is unchecked, sorry, it is hiding the result. It is hiding the result. Same thing that we will take up here, and we'll see the output. Then we'll come back to this. Okay, so that efforts will be less. Okay. So now let me run. What happened? When you're clicking it, menu is showing. When you're clicking it back again, now understand the code. True is becoming false, false is becoming true. That's it. Yes? Okay. Show me. What show me will take? Show me will take either true or false. Either true or false. So now when your page is loaded, tell me, when your page is loaded, is it false or true? False. False means show or not show? Not to show. Yes? When you click, who gets activated? My function. So go to my function. So in my function, it is false. What function is doing? The function is making the opposite result, not of show me. What is not of show me? True. So now what is show me? Show me becomes not of false. Now first result, not of one. Once you click, it will become true. No, it will become true. So then what will happen? Show becomes true. True means to show or hide. Show. Again you are clicking. Now you click second time. What happens? Now you click second time. What happens? So my function will get activated. Actual value show me is true. So not of true is what? False. Now show me is what? False. Again binding with this. Ng show is equal to true or false? False. False means hidden. It is as simple as that. Is that clear? So this is what is the show. Ng show with controller. Ng show with the controller. Don't worry about this dollar symbol, not symbol, everything easy only. Okay, so if you are worried, if you are looking at it and becoming worried, React.js is there for you. React.js, you will see much more codes like this. Okay, in React.js, there will be 10-15 lines like this. So now you don't worry. Okay, so you try to understand what is each of the thing. So before scope, we have a dollar symbol. So that scope we are defining in the function. And that show, I mean that scope we are using inside the controller logic. Of course, inside the function only, but inside the controller logic. Yes. So there is a link between each and every code. So try to understand. Yeah, finish it fast. Okay, so now we will go into, so you can also have the event object here. Okay, so you can write later, so you can have the event object over here. So this event object can also deal with the events. Okay, so that's the only thing, you can just check it out. So finally we will have forms. So whenever we talk about forms, so what do you mean by form? Form ante form, a simple basic question. Form, details about the user, obviously details about the user. So what we'll have: input elements, select elements, buttons, text areas, all these things will be there, no? So input type is equal to text, ng model is equal to first name. So now what that ng model first name can be loaded with? By a name, by a name, like you can give any name or anything. Okay, controller is equal to form control. So where I can put this form control? Where I can put this form control? ng controller. Okay, good. So now, okay, so I want you to do it as homework, so that's why I'm not executing anything. So checkbox. Now see what happens here. Checkbox will come. Very good. Checkbox lo what is there? My var ng show is equal to my var. What happens in the background? Ng show will take true or false. Type is equal to checkbox will take again click or not. If there is a click, it is true. True means who will be shown? My header will be shown. If it is false, my header will be hidden. My header will be hidden. It is as simple as that. Yes. Okay, I am not going to execute as I told you. Okay. Form. Pick a topic. Radio signal. I'm sorry. Radio item. ng model var value dogs tutorials and cars. Now, okay. Okay, I think this is not complete. I'll complete it and give it to you. No problem. Okay. Now ng model is equal to, oh, model is there, no? Okay. Model is equal to, okay. It is not complete. I'll complete it. No problem. Okay. So we have to complete that. So down you should have that, no? So this is not there. I'll put that. Okay. Now tell me what is happening here. It's like a complete application. So tell me what is happening here. No validate means no validation required. So you can directly submit. Okay. Can anyone tell me what is happening in this total application? Scope user. Mhm. Scope dot master. So for master, you will get first name John and last name Doe. Okay. Scope reset function. Hmm. Angular copy of scope master. Copy of scope master means all the details will be coming. Okay, so will be coming. Okay, right. So scope dot reset. Scope dot reset, all the details will be reset. Okay, what user will get? What user will get? Hmm? What user will get? Sorry, user dot first name, user dot last name. But I gave user no here. ఎక్కడ కాపీ చేసినాం? కాపీ ఎందులో చేసాం? User లోకి చేసాం. Where we copied? We copied to the user. So user will get what? User will get the first name as well as the last name. Okay, so you have the example explained down. You can see this is like your task, angular task. రేపు బ్రేక్ ఇస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి సో కంప్లీట్ చేయడానికి ప్రయత్నించండి. These two things I'll send you with the code. Okay, so try to complete that application. Copy and paste కాకుండా you try to do it on your own. ఓకే, మీరు కాపీ అండ్ పేస్ట్ చేస్తారని నాకు తెలుసు. ఓకే, బట్ ట్రై చేయండి చేయకుండా చేయడానికి, రైట్? అండ్ ఫ్రైడే వీ విల్ స్టార్ట్ రియాక్ట్ జేఎస్. ఓకే, సో టుమారో విల్ గివ్ ఏ బ్రేక్ సో దట్ యూ కెన్ రిఫ్రెష్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ ఫంక్షన్స్, నేను ఫంక్షన్ చెప్తుంటే కొన్ని బ్లాంక్ ఫేసెస్ గమనించాను నేను. ఓకే, మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి ఫంక్షన్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఒక్కసారి మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేసుకోండి. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ వై ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ ఏ బ్రేక్ టుమారో. ఆన్ ఫ్రైడే 2 o'clock వీ విల్ బి స్టార్టింగ్ రియాక్ట్ జేఎస్. రియాక్ట్ జేఎస్ కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్, ఎందుకంటే యాజ్ ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ ఓన్లీ రియాక్ట్ జేఎస్ మీద మీకు జాబ్స్ చాలా ఉన్నాయి. ఓన్లీ రియాక్ట్ జేఎస్ వస్తే కూడా కంపెనీస్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు. ఓకే, ఎస్పెషల్లీ స్టార్టప్స్, రైట్? సో కాబట్టి రియాక్ట్ జేఎస్ మీద కొంచెం కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే, బికాస్ యాజ్ ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ యాంగులర్ జేఎస్ యాజ్ అన్ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ యాంగులర్. ఓకే, రియాక్ట్ జేఎస్కి ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ లేదు కాబట్టి రియాక్ట్ జేఎస్ మీద ఎక్కువ కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేసామనుకోండి, సో వీ కెన్ స్పెండ్ మోర్ టైమ్ ఆన్ ఇట్. We can see some examples, more examples, right? It will be fun. React.js will be fun. Yes? Okay, thank you.